Today and welcome to yet another episode of ANC Decides Town Hall Debate. My name is Natasha Puri and I'm not alone. I'm here in Seshego Polokwane at the Ngwako Ramatlhodi Sports Center. We're just 20 days away, or less than 20 days away, I beg your pardon, from the ANC's 54th National Conference. And we know that those 7 candidates have put their names in the hats to vie for the next ANC president. Now, lots of those leaders talking about unity, and this is amidst, the ANC being divided, factions, and of course, the alliance being strained. And just interestingly, just talking about unity, we saw there President Jacob Zuma had hosted those 7 candidates in what was dubbed as the Last Supper, where the issues of unity were actually discussed. Those 7 candidates had committed themselves to promoting unity, comradeship, during and after the elective conference. As you see, I've got a very, very vibrant, audience here. I've also got a very interesting panel here, and I'll just start by introducing them. I'm joined by Ntate Eugene Masete, who's the ANC's Peter Mokabo Regional Secretary, followed by Advocate Anderson Mutungutu. I'm so sorry for the pronunciation there. And he's the ANC's Vemba Regional Secretary, followed by Dr. Kgotatso Shai, I beg your pardon, who's a political analyst, and then further joined by Ntate Cham Supuru, who's Sanko's Capricorn Regional Chairperson in the Limpopo Province, and last but not least, I'm joined by Ntate Laibro Mavunda, who's Kosatu's Capricorn District Coordinator. And of course, today's interesting topic is, will a combined ANC slate and 2 deputy presidents deepen unity within the organization? We know that this topic was actually touched on at the policy conference. Some may call it power sharing, the power sharing formula. Let me just start off with Ntate Eugene Masete. Ntate Eugene, you've heard this topic. What are your takers on that?
It's really a topic under discussion because the issue of slates and the issue of 2 deputy presidents, it's a matter that conference must still decide upon. But what is clear at this point is that the BGMs have run their steam, and at this point we know as to what is it that the branches want. What I would also want to say is that our branches have shown that they need united leadership in the ANC.
Can we take the conversation to Advocate Anderson? Do you concur with what Ubab Eugene just said?
I agree with my colleague, Comrade Eugene, but I also want to take it a little bit further. We must be conscious that the ANC is the governing party. The ANC is the leader of society. The ANC is the liberation movement. Now, the ANC cannot only look inward for the sake of unity. Unity without purpose is useless. The unity that we want is based on renewing the ANC, building the ANC, and uniting the ANC. Now, we are not going to be putting together for the sake of amalgamating people in the top echelons of the ANC as officials. We want leadership that will have a buy-in, that we need to rebuild the ANC, we need to renew it, we need to unite it.
Dr. Kgotatso, very interesting inputs coming from there, saying that the ANC needs new and credible leadership that will rebuild and unite the party. From a political analyst point of view, what is your input?
Thank you very much, and greetings to everyone. I think from where I'm sitting, I wish to agree with the latter speaker to a larger extent, but my point of departure is that for me, unity is really, it's a lofty liberal goal, which is not actually achievable in the current political climate. Because as the previous speaker has indicated, when we talk about unity, we are talking about unity around what? And unity for what? Because the current proposals that we have, that have been tabled by the sitting president of the ANC and others, they are not about promoting unity in the ANC for the purpose of catalyzing service delivery in the country, for the purpose of renewing and self-correcting the ANC. But it's more about consolidating the power of the faction, which by indications of the nominations of branches is appearing to be losing the momentum and the grip on power. That is my first point. So it will be very wrong for any faction of the ANC or for any leader of the ANC to agree to a combined slate which is about ensuring or protecting people who have committed criminal deeds. It will be very wrong to rally around a goal of fostering unity for the purpose of ensuring, simply ensuring that those who have stolen resources from this country do not go to prison. That is very, very, very wrong. And as I conclude, I also wish to indicate that I think people must appreciate the fact that politics by its very own nature is competitive. And if there are elections, there must be winners and there must be losers. That is a reality that we cannot shy away from.
Dr. Khotato raising very interesting points. They're flipping both sides of the coins in terms of the topic. What I took was that there must be winners and there must be losers. Your take?
They have told us what to do in terms of leadership succession. So the topic before us here won't assist us if we are to say that we need 2 deputy presidents and we need to combine slates. That will be totally out of order. I'm saying this simply because we are having a lobby, CR17 lobby, which is pushing very hard for unity. And if you look at people who have been nominated from the BGMs, you would realize that this CR17 campaign is enjoying overwhelming support from within the ANC. And this is a macrocosm of the love and support that Comrade Cyril enjoys with his team within members of civil society throughout the country. So you can't simply try to dilute that content, which is about unity, which is about renewal of the organization, which is about restoring the values of the organization, the values of Sefako Makatu, Oliver Reginald Tambo, and Mandela. Remember, Comrade Cyril is in the class of these leaders that I've just talked about.
Let's take it to our last panelist, Ntate Libro. You've heard what every panelist had to say.
You see, the topic that brought us together here, the Federation has already addressed this question. There is no need for any unity of slates. Because one, as the Federation, we don't believe in these slates. The Federation has spoken a long time ago with the nation, starting from the Special Congress of July 2015, and went further to the National Congress of the 23 to 26 November 2015, and went further to its CEC, Central Executive Committee meeting, which took place and talk about the very same issue. And Kosatu was saying, for us to unite the African National Congress, we must make sure that the culture, the tradition, and the principle that was followed since 1949 up to today must stand. The Deputy President, the Deputy President must ascend when the time for the sitting president comes to an end, as simple as that.
Very interesting pointers there from our panelists. Just one more question from me before we take it to our lovely audience. And I'll just pose that to Dr. Kgothatso Shai, since you're a political analyst. The dynamics of this conference are quite different to those of Mangaung and Polokwane. Here you have two frontrunners, Cyril Ramaphosa, as you all love him, and Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. One candidate has the backing of the alliance and doesn't have the backing of the leagues, and the other candidate has the backing of the leagues but not of the alliance. How do we play that out?
You know, the current contestation must be understood within the context that ANC, as it is today, it is not the ANC that we had in 2007. It's not the ANC that we had in the year 2012. You must understand that the reason why we have got several or more than two presidential hopefuls is largely because of the multiplicity of the challenges that today's ANC is encountering. But it's also more about identity and resource control. If you look at all those presidential candidates in the ANC, all of them, they have served in government, they have served in the ANC at the provincial level or at national level at a particular point in time. And they know the benefits and privileges of occupying a particular position. And to that end, it becomes very difficult for them to imagine themselves having to live life without occupying a particular senior political position in the ANC. That is the first thing. But again, when you look at all these people, you also need to understand that we are talking about factions here. Whether we like it or not, we can dismiss the existence of factions, but the reality of politics, as opposed to the theory of politics, indicates that slates factions exist in the ANC.
Thank you so much. And Tate Shai, as Tate Champ had said, the branches have spoken. So let's give the branches an opportunity to speak. Can I just have hands from our very vibrant audience? I'll start off with the gentleman over here. Do you mind introducing your name and your surname and your question, please?
Yeah, Amandla. Yeah, thanks very much, presenter. My name is Siba Matsimela, ANC branch secretary. Ward 37 Susan Shadum branch under Polokwane sub-region. I'm a young person. Yes. It's not question per se, but I want to give an input on the discussion which was raised by our panels there. Firstly, I want to draw a line that President Jacob Zuma once said that the powers lies within the branches of the ANC. And then that was there when the president the NEC wanted to recall him. He said that I will only be recalled by branches of the ANC. Now, I'm saying this because currently there is this artificial arrangement of the list, which undermines the powers of branches of the ANC, which is said by the very same person who said that we must respect branches. Now, it's a contradiction. We are saying, or President Zuma must not undermine the branches of the ANC. Branches have spoken. We don't need any artificial unity. Branches will make their own decision. Yes. And then secondly, I want to say to Zitle Sagalala, chairperson of KZN, that RET, Radical Economic Transformation, is a policy of the ANC, not of an individual. And then the president, which is elected, will implement policies of the organization. And then, moving forward, the leagues. You spoke about the leagues saying that they are supporting. No, there is only an arrangement of young people within offices who are supporting NDZ. Young people, as I am, I'm supporting CR17. And then, lastly, Lastly, I want to say that if the ANC, the Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma says that they want unity, but I will say to her, and I think the message will be very clear, that if she wants the unity that she's speaking about is clear, she must withdraw from the candidacy and support the tradition of the ANC. The tradition of the ANC says the deputy must take over. So Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma must support the tradition of the ANC to unify the ANC. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Lesiba. We're moving it and we're taking it to our second member of the audience. Name and surname. You heard what Lesiba had to say, that the president should not undermine the branches.
Yeah, thanks very much. My name is Machaga Jimmy. I'm a former leader of the Youth League and activist. And also, I can confirm that my branch has nominated very correctly. And it has nominated correctly simply because it wants to take the ANC back to its people. You will check, amongst other things and problems facing the ANC, which must be a program that defines the type of leadership that we must elect to go into a conference to save the ANC from its challenges. Number one, South Africans do not want to hear anything relating to the surname Zuma. Perhaps if Umama was having any other surname except this one of Zuma, it could be something else. So let's respect the wishes of branches of the ANC and that of the society, because the ANC is not only leading yourselves as members alone, it's also leading the society. So in anything that we do internally, we must be cautious of the fact of how the society will judge outside. One of the reasons why we passionately support Cyril Ramaphosa is because we have seen when he's crossing the country, in all rallies that he was addressing, he was not only attending to us as members of the ANC, but the general society, telling us very clear that should Ramaphosa become the president of the ANC, certainly the ANC is going to win the 2019 elections. But should this other one lose, should this other opponent win, you must know that the ANC is going to be an opposition. So ourselves as young people, we are very jealous that we don't want to lead the ANC tomorrow as an opposition party. We want to lead the ANC, and we are calling upon all these leaders of the ANC to rise. Condemn any wrong things of Jacob Zuma. Leave these things off your blue light. You will get them. But don't compromise the ANC in the expense of wanting to be driven in a blue light. Thanks very much.
Okay, let's take this discussion to Imbogoto. What do the ladies of Seshego have to say?
Oh, okay, and my name is Nomonde Sababu from Ward 11 in Seshego sub-region, Polokwane. Mine on issue of unity, I just want to indicate something. Branches of the ANC, majority of them, in terms of membership, it's women. And the women have spoken. And the women said, we agree, the unity is needed. Women must deputize. And they've mentioned that woman who must deputize for unity purposes, for making sure that women are represented. But just to take it further to say, if you want the South Africa to be united, you must listen to Alliance, especially Sanko. It is placed correctly to listen to the community what they want. If indeed the African National Congress listen to the society, will listen to Alliance, not itself. Because when you speak of Women's League, if you speak of the Youth League, you are speaking about the ANC itself. So you can't speak to yourselves and say you are correct. You must listen to the people. And the people in this regard is the Sanko, is the Alliance. If the ANC indeed need to win in 2019, please, let Cyril lead, please.
Well, a very heartfelt plea there from Nomo, and it's very vocal, saying that the ANC needs to listen to the alliance and saying that Cyril Ramaphosa should take over as president. Any more takers?
Mine, it's a question. I want to address it to the leadership of the ANC there at the panel. They spoke mouthful about the issue of leadership, but we also want to check before the national conference.
we have attended the policy conference. So we are now interested in knowing their take on the issue of the new policy, on the the new direction on the policy for slates. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. I hope the panelists have taken that question. Let's just also take last input or question from the gentleman.
My name is Tabas Matla, a former BEC member of ACMA Poto and a current member of ACMA Poto branch. I'm hearing the talking of the slogan of unity. Mine is very small and precise. The issue that I have is that this unity, is it a unity of ideology, or is just a unity that has got legs to paralyze the movement? Because you need to be careful, of the paralysis which are being deepened on factionalism and patronage. So that is the issue that I have at hand. Those that have lost, the BGMs have already spoken. And we do know that those will be the members of the ANC. Those that have lost, if they've got unity at heart, they must follow. They must accept to be led. They mustn't be like COPE, which decided to be a faction on its own. They mustn't be like EFF. They must show that they've got the interest of ANC at heart. And an honest and obedient member of ANC will accept to be led. But those that will want to become like a prodigal son, like Womalema, they are the ones that will go out. And those are the type of people which we don't need in the ANC. Because they've got a tendency to destroy the organization. They've got a tendency to bring cancer of corruption. They've got a tendency to bring cancer of factionalism. They've got a tendency to kill the movement. So we want proper people that are obedient. I thank you.
My name is Dumisani Ngomani, member of ANC Ward 11 in Makado sub-region in Bambe region. I just want to highlight that this thing of two deputy president does not exist. Tina, we are very clear. We want Cyril Ramaphosa to lead. We want Cyril and Cyril and Cyril alone. Thank you.
Very interesting questions and inputs coming from this very vibrant audience. Let me just take it back to the panelists to actually answer some of these questions and inputs that were raised. I'm going to be very strict with time. 1 minute each, please. And let's just start with you, Ndate.
Thank you. There's unanimity in terms of what the House here represents and what they want. Just to be very spot on, in terms of the policy on the slates, the ANC discourages slates, but it's a reality that we have to live with when we have to go into any elective conference. Because as lobby groups, the slates come as a product of the lobby groups. And as such, it's a reality that we are faced with. And maybe in an ideal situation in the future, we'll do away with the slates.
It's going to be very difficult for slates to be pushed at the national conference because the voting pattern has been changed. We are going into conference, the first vote that the conference is going to exercise is the vote of the president of the ANC. That position alone. After that, we will then vote for the deputy president of the ANC, each and every position on its own, so that we give full attention. We do not come up with people who will be pushing state capture and corruption. We want people who will be fighting state capture and fighting corruption. And we all know, when we are voting for the president, even those that are forced to support otherwise, they know Cyril is good for the ANC, Cyril is good for the economy, Cyril is good for jobs, and he will make us win the 2019 elections.
I just wish to concur with the latter speaker that really, in the immediate future, it is going to be very much difficult to eliminate slates, because we must understand that the current politics, they are played within what one can term a capitalist-orientated political landscape. where people tend to derive services and benefits from the government, largely depending on who do you know, who knows the other person. But I think a precursor, a step towards the elimination of slates it will be to really inculcate the culture of political literacy in the ANC. That is a fundamental issue. There is a need for a higher level of political literacy of the members of the ANC in order for them to conduct themselves in a principled manner and advance for the election of principled leaders. Thank you.
We are going to pull everyone kicking and screaming towards the unity of this organization. And whoever is in dreamland thinking that we are going to have mercy when people are looting the coffers of the state, when people are allowing the Guptas to capture them, then let them forget. That is the path that we are on. Cyril is going to win and is going to fix all these messes.
From the Federation, our view is that the Federation of Elijah Bahai, the Federation of Comrade Siwoni, the Federation of Beki Mukize, the Federation of Jane Aido, and many, many other leaders have done its best in making sure that the society and everybody rallies behind the culture which says the deputy president of the ANC in the conference of the ANC, when the sitting president, his time has come to an end, the deputy must ascend. And the deputy here, we had been talking about Comrade Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. Because in conclusion, as the president, he will be able to do three fundamental issues. One, as the deputy president, he will be able to unite the organization, he will be able to revive the organization, and lastly, he will renew it. Thanks very much.
And as they say, all good things must come to an end. I must actually thank, my beautiful panelists. I really, really learned a lot. And I hope the viewers at home have learned as much as I did. And of course, the people of Seshego, thank you. You've been nothing but vibrant and beautiful. And thank you so much. Some of the points that we also took home tonight was that the ANC needs a leadership that is corrupt-free, that is accountable, and that will rebuild and unite the ANC. The branches here very stern, making a clarion call saying that they want Cyril Ramaphosa to lead them as the next president, and most of all, people saying that they do not believe in this power-sharing formula. There must be winners and there must be losers. From me, Natasha Piri, and everybody that's here, it's a wrap.